Yes, is it audible now? Can you all guys please respond in the chat window? Is it audible now? Can you all the guys please respond in the chat window? Is it audible now? All the people, can you please respond in the chat window? Please respond in the chat window, guys. Is that I'm audible to everyone? For everyone, audio is very clear, right? Okay. Perfect, guys. Perfect. Perfect. Right. So let's start with our session. Okay. So today, the session, to have an information, to have an overview related to the new trending automation tool, considering the Tosca, right? So today's session is, I'm just giving an overview related to the new trending tool in automation, considering that Tosca. Okay. So before going to that, a brief information about my profile. So myself as a Suresh, having 15 years of IT experience into software testing. Not like the development part, my total experience into testing. So working with different MNC companies, like I work for Accenture and I'm working for Capgemini. Okay, so I work for different IT companies. At the same time, having with a very good experience in giving with the trainings, offline training, online training, and even the corporate trainings here. Apart from that, the technical subject was more comfortable in handling the different projects and manual testing, and then handling different projects in automation testing with the respective of different tools. In my career, I work with a lot of tools. As an example, UTP, I worked on it, Selenium tool, and now the Tosca. Apart from that, Water, Test Complete, RFT, different type of tools I have been working it. So the whole having a very good experience related to manual testing and automation testing. And currently providing the trainings in Naresh IT. Okay, right. So today's session, I'm trying to give an overview related to the new trending tool of Tosca automation tool. So first we'll understand what exactly mean by this Tosca tool and what make you the main difference with other automation tools. Because in this current market, there are n number of tools are there. Moreover, most of the people are already aware of Selenium automation tool or QTP automation tool. So what exactly make you the difference between QTP, Selenium, and Tosca? That will be understanding. And after that, we'll discuss about a very small program. We'll understand a very small program, like how we can develop or how we can automate any of the testing case with the help of Tosca automation tool. Because we are clearly saying that this is a zero coding. There is no programming. There is no coding in this particular tool. So without doing any coding, without doing any coding or any programming, how we can automate an application? That is what we are trying to understand. Okay, right. So first thing, is there anyone totally new to the testing industry? Is there any new persons like totally new to software testing? Just you guys can respond in the chat window, or else you can raise your hands. Just you can raise your hands or you can respond in the chat window. Is that anyone totally new to the testing? Okay, okay, right. Lot of people are there. Lot of people are there. Okay, so nothing to worry. Nothing to worry. So just don't be confused and don't be worried about the terminologies what I'm using. So first, I'll try to give a basic information related to testing. I'll try to give a very basic information related to the testing, and then we'll move on to our Tosca tool here. Okay, right. And I'll clarify all your questions at the end of the session. For everyone, I will be giving enough time to get clarify all your questions here. Because of that, just you can wait at the end of the session and I'll try to clarify any questions related to the software testing. Okay, so first, let me complete my explanation. First, let me complete my explanation and then I will give you enough time to get, I'll give you enough time to get clarify all your questions here. Okay, so first, let me complete my explanation and I'll start clarifying all your questions here. Okay. So first thing, the very first understanding need to be get using one terminology considering the SDLC, mentioning the software development life cycle, right? Software development life cycle. So if you want to develop any kind of software, banking related, insurance related, manufacturing related, any kind of the software, it's mandatory that need to be get follow the process of SDLC. In a very simple way, we can say that first step, requirements gathering. The very first step, requirements gathering. After that, requirement analysis, requirements gathering, requirement analysis, and taking with design, and then coding. After that, testing, and the last activity, live environment or production. So combine of all these things, we need to be considered SDLC, Software Development Life Cycle. But according to the IT industry, it will never possible in performing all the things by one person. Only one person taking care about all the activities, which is not like in a very easy. Because of that, as part of IT industry, requirements gathering and then analysis and then design taking care by the persons considering the BA, business analyst. So the BA, business analyst, will take care about requirements gathering, requirement analysis, and then taking with design. In a similar way, the coding activity will be taken care by developer, and after that, testing activity taken care by tester. That means the minimum people required in the IT industry, the minimum people required in the IT industry, considering that taking with developer and then tester and then BA, minimum people, right? Because without having with the BA, you cannot go with requirements. Without having developer, you cannot go with coding. And without having the tester, you can't go with the testing. So these three particular teams are the minimum people required for the IT industry to get developed and to deliver any successful software into the market. So BA, you can totally consider different career. Developer, you can consider as different career, and tester or testing considering as a different career here. Now, here we are taking care about in understanding the information related to software testing. We are trying to understand the information related to software testing. So what exactly mean by testing? What exactly mean by testing? In a very simple way, we can say that testing the application based on client requirements. Testing the application based on client requirements. Simple, very simple concept. Testing subject or testing job is a more simple saying that testing the application based on client requirements. Still, if you want to understand in a more simple way, as an example, I got this application. So developer will take care about developing the application. Tester has to take care about testing the application. So testing the application means what you will do, you will understand client requirement. According to the client requirement, application has been developed or not, you have to confirm. So tester is giving the confirmation saying that application has been developed in the correct way, application is working as part of expected of client requirements. For example, login functionality, you want to test it. Okay. So how you will test the login functionality? You have to enter valid username, valid password, and click on login button or sign in button. For example, I'm entering valid username and I'm entering valid password. If I click on sign in button, what will be the expected result? Login should be successful because I provided correct username, correct password. By that, the login should be successful. So as a tester, what you will do? You will provide username, you will provide password and click on sign in button and you will confirm login is successful or not. Now, login is successful, then you will decide that that particular functionality working correctly. But not like you are testing the functionality just only in one way. You just tested by entering valid username, valid password. But not like you are entering, you are testing with only one criteria. Different possibilities you have to do. As an example, I will enter invalid username and then I will enter invalid password. And by that, what will be the expected result? Error message should be displayed. See the concept, more simple. Testing concept is more simple. If I click on the sign in button, as I provided invalid username, invalid password, what should be the result according to your understanding? Very simple functionality, right? According to your understanding, what will be the result? What is the result you can expect? What is the result you can expect? Right. Perfect. Error message should be displayed. Right. So considering that the expected result, we are expecting that error message should be displayed. Now, let's confirm. That is what we have to confirm. That is what we have to test it. Error message displaying or not. If it is displaying, we'll confirm that functionality working correctly. If it is not displaying, then we'll confirm that functionality is not working correctly. That is what you will be reporting to development team. Nothing but you will be reporting the bug. Now, let's confirm. Let me click on sign in. See that. See clearly. Let me click on sign in. Okay. I clicked on sign in. Any error message is displayed? I done the click activity. But is that error message displayed? No. No. Error message is not displayed. So that means according to the client requirement, error message has to be displayed. But in the application, error message is not displaying. So that is how you are coming up with identifying the issues in the application. So this is what exactly the job role of confirm that application has been developed in the correct way or not. Okay. So why it is not login means we entered invalid username, invalid password. When you enter invalid username, invalid password, it has to give error message. So this is what the concept of testing and the job role of the tester. Confirming that functionality working or not based on client requirements. So this kind of testing This kind of testing we can implement. This kind of testing we can implement in the different ways. We can implement in different ways. Considering that one is manual testing. One is manual testing. Another one, considering that automation testing. Okay, the software testing we can implement in different ways. One is manual testing and another one automation testing. So manual testing, the meaning of manual testing, considering that doing the testing with the help of human interactions, doing with the testing with the help of human interactions. That means we have to take care about in doing manual testing. Like we have to enter the username, we have to enter the password, we need to enter the URL, everything we have to take care of it. So that is what manual testing, considering that testing done with the help of human interactions. That is what you are considering the manual testing. And at the same time, you got automation testing. That particular automation testing, you are considering that doing the testing with the help of tools. Doing the testing with the help of the tools. In common, in general, manual testing. The whole manual testing can be implemented with the steps of STLC, software testing life cycle. The whole manual testing can be implemented with the steps of STLC, mentioning the software testing life cycle. In that, as part of STLC, first step, requirement understanding. First step is requirements understanding. After that, need to prepare one test plan, and then you need to prepare test scenarios. After that, test cases. After that, test execution, and then bug reporting, and the last activity considering the test closure. So as part of manual testing, you have to take care about in coming up with these particular steps. Right? In the similar way, you got automation testing. In the similar way, you got automation testing. The meaning of automation testing, considering the testing done by the tools. Testing done by the tools. That particular tools, again, we got different options. The one you are considering that open source. The one you are considering that open source tool. At the same time, considering that paid tool here. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is open source tool, another one paid tool. One is o paid tool here, right? So the meaning of paid tool, license. First, you have to take, first, you need to take license from the respective companies. You need to take license from the respective companies, and then you need to be get start, and then you need to be get start working with the tool. So the meaning of paid tools, we can say that need to take the license from that particular respective companies, and they need to start working on the tools. As an example, the best example, QTP. The best example, QTP. Quick Test Professional. Quick Test Professional. At the same time, taking with Tosca. At the same time, Tosca. So Tosca is the paid tool. If you want to work with Tosca, first you have to take license. First you have to take license from that particular company. Considering that Tricentis, the Tosca developed by the company Tricentis. From that particular company, you have to take with the license, and then you need to be get start working with that particular tool here. In a similar way, you will be taking care about in having with another tool, test complete, and taking with RFT, rational functional tool. Rational functional tool. This is how in the market there are n number of tools are there. In the market there are n number of tools are there. So that is how you have in a different type of tools are available in the market. Now these are paid tool. In a similar way, you got open source. Meaning of the open source, free of cost. Meaning of the open source, free of cost. Just if you're having internet connection, you need to download from the internet, and you have to start working with the tool. As an example, the best example in the market, considering that Selenium. Selenium is purely open source tool. Selenium is purely open source tool. You doesn't require to pay any license. Just you have internet connection, download from the internet, and you can start working with the tool. At the same time, we got Selenium, and then SQL, and then Auto IT, and then Water. There are a number of tools are there. A number of tools are available in the market according to that particular project and according to that particular client. They will take care about in utilizing the required tool, because every automation tool, we can have that advantages, and they will be having that particular respective drawbacks here. Okay, so this is what we got the basic information related to the testing. Considering that software testing, testing the application based on client requirements. That particular testing divided into two things. One is manual testing and another one automation testing. The whole manual testing implementing with the steps of STLC, software testing life cycle. And the meaning of automation testing done by the tool, that particular tools divided into two things, and then considering that paid tool or saying that open source tool. Paid tool, you have to take the license. Paid tool, you have to take the license and then, right? So paid, you need to take with the license from that particular tool, and after that, you need to get start working with the tools here. But in case of open source, just if you're having internet connection, you can download from the internet. You can download from the internet and you can start working with the tool related to manual, related to paid or related to free. There are a number of tools are available in the market according to that particular project and according to that particular client need to be get take care about what is a tool need to be used. So in that the today session, we are looking into the tool of Tosca. We are looking into the tool of Tosca. So let's understand the more information related to this particular tool. Right. Let's understand the more information related to this particular Tosca. So for that, first we'll understand what exactly mean by Tosca tool, or what exactly mean by Tosca, right? We can say that this Tosca is one of automation tool, one of automation tool related to software testing. Tosca is one of the automation tool related to software testing. In a market, there are a lot of tools are there. Every tool, its own features. As an example, Selenium, already available in the market, in the most demanding tool. That particular tool, the advantage, we can say that open source, because there is no license. It's not like you have to invest any of the amount to work with the Selenium. Just you can download from the Google, and you can start working with the tool. That is its advantage. The main advantage of the Selenium, it is open source tool. When it's come to the Tosca, the main advantage of the Tosca, it is license only. The Tosca is the license tool only, but the advantage is zero coding. The advantage is zero coding. There is no concept of doing the programming while working with Tosca automation tool. That is what the main advantage of Tosca. So that is how every tool, it will have its own advantages and it will be having its own drawbacks here. So first understanding, Tosca is the license tool only, but it is totally zero programming, zero coding automation tool. And moreover, if you consider this particular Tosca, which is purely related to software testing, not like development, Tosca is purely related to software testing, not like the development tool. You can consider that testing tool here, right? So this particular Tosca, we need to be say that we need to be get considering that it is one particular automation tool, which is helping in doing end-to-end testing. See the advantage, guys. See the advantage. this particular Tosca tool is helping you in doing end-to-end testing. I mean, you can do functional testing and you can do non-functional testing. I mean, mainly you can consider functional testing, functionality testing. Okay. After that, API testing, database testing, performance testing. When you're doing all these things, that is what you will consider end-to-end testing. Because starting to ending, starting of the project to ending of the project, end-to-end testing. As an example, functional testing, API testing, database testing, and performance testing. All the things we can implement in one single tool. All the things we can get implemented in one single tool. See the advantage. Even though this is a licensed tool, why nowadays the clients has been started preferring the tool is, even though it is in a licensed tool, we can say that we can consider this is one single tool which is taking care about end-to-end testing. For example, if we consider QTP tool only related to functional testing. You cannot test API. When you work with the QTP tool, you cannot do API testing. In the same way, this particular Selenium, that is also automation tool, more demanding tool in the market. But by using Selenium, you can automate only web-based applications. You can't automate, you can't perform API testing or database testing by using the Selenium. But if you come to the Tosca, Tosca is one of the automation tool which is taking care about in doing with end-to-end testing, considering of functional and non-functional testing. Not only end-to-end testing, see the another advantage. This Tosca is having the option of in integrating with test management tools. For example, best option, Jira, related to manual testing, the best management tool. That Jira we can integrate with the Tosca. Right? I mean, so this Tosca tool is working as end-to-end testing and working as management tool also. And moreover, you are taking with all the types of the testing. So that is what your very first understanding of Tosca. In a very simple way, we can say that Tosca is one of automation tool. Tosca is one of the automation tool taking care about in automating or performing end-to-end testing, which includes functional and non-functional testings. Along with that, Tosca is having the option in integrating with required tools also. As an example, Jira, we can integrate it, or Jenkins, we can integrate it, API, we can integrate it, having the option of in integrating with different type of tools also. So this is how we are saying that this can be upcoming tool in the market, because as it is giving the whole solutions, as it is giving the whole concepts of end-to-end testing, definitely you can expect with the market in further. So that is what your very first understanding. considering that what is mean by Tosca. Okay. Now, the second thing, what exactly make you the main differences between Tosca, Selenium, QTP? Because these are the main tools in the market. In a very starting days of IT market, we got QTP. After that, we got Selenium. Nowadays, we are hearing about Tosca. So when you compare these three, see the understanding. Tosca is a licensed tool. Selenium, purely open source. No concept of license, just internet connection is there. You can download it, you can start working. But QTP also licensed. QTP also licensed tool only. Okay. Tosca, QTP, both are licensed. Selenium is purely open source. Now, scripting, programming knowledge, programming required. Tosca, zero coding. Tosca is zero coding. Selenium, absolutely you required programming knowledge. Almost the Selenium has been supporting for 6 programming languages. The Selenium will be supporting for 6 programming languages. In that, we can say Java, .NET, nothing but C#, Python, PHP, Perl, and Ruby. Java, C#, nothing but .NET, Python, PHP, PHP, and then taking with Ruby. Okay, so this total 6 languages, 6 programming languages supported by Selenium. So definitely you require basic knowledge of programming to work with the Selenium. QTP also require the programming that you are considering that VB script. Mentioning that Visual Basic. VB script means Visual Basic. So Selenium is required programming. QTP also required programming. But Tosca, there is no programming. Just only drag and drop activities. It is a just only drag and drop activities. And the languages, this particular Tosca, what kind of applications, what kind of languages it can support? A number of languages. We are not doing programming, but it will support a number of languages, a number of applications. Selenium is just 6 languages, but QTP only 1 language. And when you come up with the cost, wise, Selenium is totally free. When you compare QTP and Tosca, QTP license, that will be less only, but Tosca, it's like in a medium. Not like into very high and not like into very low. So that is what we mentioned like moderate. And the types of applications, by using Tosca, you can automate any kind of applications. You can automate web applications. You can automate Windows-based applications. Okay, you can automate mobile applications. Any applications can be automated by Tosca. But Selenium, you can automate only web applications. By using Selenium, we can automate only web applications. But QTP, it will be supporting for web and desktop. QTP is supporting for web and desktop applications. And the reusability, Tosca will be the very high. Selenium, you can consider an average, and QTP is considered as a very low. So this is what the very simple difference in the tools of Tosca and then Selenium and then QTP. Okay. So now we'll understand how you can automate, how you can get automate the functionality with the help of Tosca tool. How you can automate the functionality with the help of the Tosca tool. Okay, let's see that. Now you can understand how we are doing or how we are automating the test cases without doing any programming. For that, as usual, very first thing you require manual test cases, right? If you want to get automate, any kind of the test case, if you want to get automate any kind of the test case, first you need to be very clear about test case steps here, right? See the test case steps as an example. Taking the first test case, just an example. We need to open application. And then enter username and then enter password. Click on sign in button. And consider click on logout option. Finally, close browser or application. Either you are working the Selenium automation, or some other tool, any automation, you need to very clear about test steps. Okay, now these are all test steps we got. We have to take care about in automating these steps. See the steps. First is opening the application. Enter user ID. This is user ID. Enter user ID. Okay, that user ID I'm entering. After that, password, and then click on sign in. And then log out and close application. Very simple step. This is what you need to automate. With the help of the Tosca. So how easily we can automate? Let's see here. I have been already installed the tool in my system. Already I got activate the license. All those information, how to install the tool, how to activate the license, you will understand in coming sessions. This is a very first session on Tosca. To understand how we can automate particular test case by using Tosca. So once you completed installation, you need to open the tool. Once you got open the tool, this is how you will have environment of the Tosca, UI of the Tosca. Lot of options will be there. For now, for today, you are taking with two options. One is test cases. Another one modules. Two main things here. One is test cases. Another one, modules. Another one, modules. The two very most important thing, to develop your automation script. Test cases, nothing but test step. What are all the steps you have to follow? The test cases are nothing but test step. What are all the test steps to be followed? And then you are taking with modules. You are taking with modules. That particular modules is nothing but object or taking with element like text box, button, checkbox, everything. Now, for example, this text box is one object. This text box is one object. The link is one object. The description is one object. To recognize, to identify these particular objects, you are taking with the help of modules. Two main things here. One is test cases. Another one is modules here. Okay. So these two are main things while working with Tosca. You can see here. This is what we will be taking with the two main things. But here you can see we got test cases, we got modules, we got requirements. Requirements also can be provided. That is what we mentioned. End-to-end testing. Everything can be performed. Requirements provided, execution can be done. Issues. Assume that you identified one issue. For example, in our application, we identify the issue of error message is not displaying. That issue also you can document in the tool only. Configuration, some settings related to the tool, test planning, the planning activity, test plan, everything can be created. So even API testing, see here, you got an option of API testing. So all the things we can get implemented, each and every activity we can get implemented in the tool here. So that is what your major advantage. That is what we clearly mentioning the terminology end-to-end testing. End-to-end testing. To perform each and every testing, we can take care about utilizing this particular Tosca tool. Now, how we can write the script? How we'll do the coding? No concept of coding. First, what I will do? Test case. I want to automate first test case. For that, what I will do? I'll just do the right click. Once I do the right click, you will get all the options. New folder, creating the folder structure, virtual folder, create test case, and create business test case. For now, first I'm creating folder. Considering that Naresh IT, workshop. I'm just taking with workshop. Okay. On Tosca. Naresh IT workshop on Tosca. Folder created. Under the folder, I need to create one test case. Click on that. Now we can see. So test case. Asking about the name, I will provide TC001 _ login logout. See the symbols. When you're working with the Tosca automation tool, most of the time you guys need to take care about color coding symbols. This test cases like blue color. The modules, this particular one, orange color. So that is what you need to take care about everything into the settings only. Now, what we done? We created one folder. Under that, we created one test case. By default, it is asking about what is the status of the test case. You can say that planned, in work, completed. In work means in progress. Still we are working. So I can say that in work. In case of completed, I'll provide the status is completed. Now we can see this icon, it will change. Now icon changed. Just in a round color arrow mark because that is completed. In case of in work, then again that particular icon will be changing it. Okay, so now what we done? First we created one test case. You can consider our automation test case. Our automation test case related to login, logout. In a similar way, you go to modules. Modules also you have to create one folder. Considering that, taking with Naresh IT workshop. Naresh IT workshop, taking with Tosca. Naresh IT workshop, Tosca. Now, under this, you need to come up with providing. You need to come up with providing all the objects. Because of that, what I will do, I will create one more folder considering that TC001 taking with login, logout. Don't be confused, guys, because there is no programming, just in a settings need to be done here. Now what we done? Mainly two things we done. First, I created one automation test case by giving the name of TC001. Related to this test case, I created one module taking with TC001. Now first what I have to do? I need to identify all the objects. Before going to that, according to our test case step, what is the first test case step? Open application. How we can open the application? Let's see here. Let's see how we are doing. To open the application, first step. Now, to open the application, this is the test case. Now, test step. What is the first test step? Open application. Now, what I will do? Right click on the test case. Use the option search and add a test step. Built in. You doesn't require to write the code. Already steps will be there. What I want to do? Open application. Related to that, what is the option I got? Open URL. I'll just double click. Open URL. Got the step? See the understanding. This is test case. This is test step. Open URL. Which URL you want to open? You have to provide. Which URL you want to open? You have to provide. So now I want to get to open this particular URL. I'm just copying this. Provide that URL. Very simple, guys. Now we can see we provided URL. Done. Now I want to cross check that whether it is working or not. What I'll do, I'll close this. Okay. Now I'll run. How you will run? Just right click. Right click on the test case. You can execute whole test case step by step. Anything can be done. Right click on the test case. Run in Scratchbook. Now you can see It is verifying the license. Already I'm having the license. It will open that particular Chrome browser and then URL. Open URL is done, right? And automatically giving the result also. You can see here, it is open the browser, enter the URL. Now it has been giving the results also. So it is saying that that particular green color, open URL. Okay, done. First step is done. What is the next step? Enter user ID. Enter user ID. Where we have to enter the user ID? I need to enter user ID in the text box. That means first I want to identify text box. User ID, text box. Let's see how we can do. Let's see how we can do. First, I'll try to take all the objects. User ID, password, sign in. We have to identify. How we can identify? How we can identify? Let's see here. So how we can identify? Go to the tool, go to modules. In modules, we created the module for test case 1, login, logout. So according to the Tosca tool, modules has been used to identify the object. Right click, use the option scan, scan application. Which application you want to automate? You have to scan that application. You have to scan that page. By that, automatically Tosca will take care about in getting all the objects. Let's see here. Click on application. Click on application. Now it is scan the application. It will be asking which page you want to scan, on which page you want to identify the objects. Now in my application, these two things has been open. So I'm taking this particular one and click on scan. Now we can see it is scanning that page. I'll just click on advanced. I'll just click on advanced. Now we can see here, you got all the things already. You got username, you got password, you got sign in, you got clear button. Forgot password, right? So everything you got, automatically it will identify. Now to confirm that either it is identifying or not, to confirm that either it has been identifying or not, I'm just taking username. You can use the option, select on screen. You can use the option select on screen. I can see, let me drag it. You can see username, password, sign in. Right? So whatever the objects are there, it will identify. So again, I'm clicking, see what are the steps we done. Let me close. Let me close it. Okay. Go to the Tosca tool, modules, right click, using the option is scan and application. Now, which screen you want to scan? You have to select, click on the scan. Okay. Now, in this page, what are all the things are there? Everything it is giving. But I doesn't require all these things. I doesn't require all the things. I required only particular objects. What I will do, click on basic. Okay. Now, whatever the things I required, first I'll click on this user ID required. Just click. It will take that. I'll click on finish. Again, I'll click on scan. Either one by one you can use it or all the things together. I'm taking one by one. Password. Click on finish. Again, scan. taking with sign in. Now finish. And I'll take close. Now go to this modules. This modules. Expand here. You got all the options. Whatever the objects you identify, including that particular screenshot also, it has been taking it. For easy understanding, I'll rename. We can rename according to our comfortable. This is user ID. Okay. And after that, this is password. Okay. And then this is sign in. Okay. We got identified. So still, I want to identify user ID is done, password is done, sign in is done. Next, what we required once we done with the login, we have to take logout. We have to take logout. This object need to identify. How you will identify? Right click on the module, right click on your module, and then using the option is scan application. It will scan. Take that particular one, scan. Now what I required? Logout. I'm just selecting the logout. It got the object, finish. Now I'll close. See here, we got this is logout. Logout. So this is how we identified all the objects for each and every object. User ID, password, sign in, logout. We identify the objects. Once we identify the objects, now we need to come to our test step. Test cases. First step we are already done. What is the first step? Open URL. Next, what is the second step? Second step, enter user ID. So for entering the user ID, you are already identified that object, right? Username. Just drag it. See the understanding. I'm just dragging, guys. I'm just dragging it. Go to test case. Which is test case? Test case 1. No, this is delete. Let me drag once again. I'm just dragging it. Okay, whatever the test case is there, for the test case, you have to drop it. Now see here. First step, open URL. Second step, user ID. So if I want, for easy understanding, I'll rename it. Considering that, enter user ID. Now, here, what is the user ID you have to provide? What is that user ID? Naresh IT. No programming. There is no programming. I want to enter the user ID, provided user ID. Done. After that, what is the next step? Password. We identified that object. Drag that object. See that. I'm dragging the object, going to the test case. This is your test case 1. So under test case 1, I'm dropping it. Drag it, drop it. So this is password. I'm just rename, enter password. Now, what you have to enter? Password. You need to provide that password. What is a password? I'm just providing that password. Automatically password is encrypted. Password. We open the URL, we enter user ID, we enter password. Now, you need to click on login. But before that, let me execute up to this step. Let me execute up to this particular step, either it is working or not. Okay, let me run. How you will run? Right click on the test case. See the test case step. Open URL, enter user ID, enter password. So just right click. Before that, I need to close. I'll close this Chrome. Right click. Run in Scratchbook. Now you can see here. Browser launch. It will enter username. User ID will enter. Password is entered. Username is entered. Password is entered. Then it will generate that particular results. See that everything green color. Pass. Right? So this is how you are automating. A very simple tool, guys. A very simple tool. Very easily you can do it. There is no concept of taking with any of the programming or anything. Now, what are the steps we automated? Opening the application, opening the URL, enter user ID, enter password. What is the next one? Click on sign in button. Go to modules, sign in. We are already identified. Just drag it, go to the test case, and then drop it. Modules, sign in, test case. I'm just providing under test. This is button, right? You need to drop in the very correct way. Okay. So on test case one, I'm dropping. So now this is, I'll take with rename, click on sign in. Okay. So now we have to perform the click activity, right? Now we can see here, automatically Tosca will suggest what are the options you can use. On this button, I can do only click. I can go with only click activity. So automatically it is giving the option. I'm just taking that click. Done. After that, I need to click on log out. I need to click on log out. Log out also we are already done. So I'm just taking with, dragging it, taking with the test case. Modules, log out, going to the test case. On your test case step, now new test case. You need to provide under test case. Log out also it will give automatically, it will give the option. See that click activity, right click activity. That means Tosca is clearly saying that on the logout, either you can perform click activity or you can do right click. Automatically it will be giving. So I'm just taking click. Done. So by this, we're done with all the steps. What are the steps we automated? Open URL, enter username, enter password, click on sign in button, click on logout. See the diagram, see the tab, control flow diagram. See the advantage of the tool, graphical representation. What are the steps we automated? Opening the URL, enter user ID, enter password, click on sign in button, click on logout. So graphical representation, very clearly it is giving. Now, let me execute it. Let me execute it. So that is what we got all that particular steps here. That is what we got all the steps. And the finally last step, what we have to do, close application. We need to close application, right? So how we can close application? Right click, search and add a test step. Close. You got an option. What is option? Close browser. Close browser, double click. Now we can see close browser. For closing the browser, which browser? You have to provide the title. What is the title? See our application. So our title in my application title, internet banking. So the application title you have to provide. So by this, all the steps completed. Opening the URL, entering the user ID, entering the password, click on sign in, log out, close browser. Very simple. Now let me run. I'm running the whole test case. Right click, run in Scratchbook. Now see the steps here. Launching the browser, it will enter user ID. It will enter user ID, password, click on sign in, log out. Okay, close application. Now we can see, right? So it will give the results. Application closed and then giving the results. All the results has been passed. Opening URL, enter user ID, password, click on sign in, log out, close. That's it. So this is how we have an option in working with Tosca tool here. Just everything drag and drop only. Automatically, the tool itself will be giving all the options here. You doesn't require to do any of the programming and then anything. Okay. Tosca is done. Tool is done. Aha, not done. Don't be confused, guys. Let me run here. If you want to cross check, let me run once again. Run in Scratchbook. Now we can see. Now we can see the tool is opening the browser. I'm not opening. Tool is doing. Tool is entering the username. Tool is entering the password. Tool is entering the password, username. Click on sign in and click on log out. And finally close. You can see the down also. It will give the progress. It is giving the remaining time. Okay. Giving the results. This is how you have an option in working with the Tosca tool here, right? So this is what a basic overview of our very first session related to the Tosca. In coming part, I'll be coming up with some more sessions, some more workshops I'll be conducting related to the Tosca. So by that, you will be getting more information related to this. Okay, so this how the tool overview, what exactly mean by the tool here. In coming sessions, I'll be giving them, I'll conduct some more workshops I'll conduct on the Tosca to give in a more information. Okay, so for now, I'm just stopping the screen and then I'll clarify in case of any of the questions. In case of any of the questions.